I'm going to share all of my secret sauce in this video on how we're booking 8 calls per day and how we're helping other people also book a lot of calls per day. No secret here. We're doing it. Our clients are doing it. I'm going to share with you in this video everything that's involved so that you don't have to rely on cold outreach. You don't have to rely on referrals. You don't have to rely on going to events. You don't have to rely on any of that stuff. I will be showing you how exactly we are doing this. If you take a look, exactly how we're doing this, number one. Okay, so you'll learn how that can be your calendar. Number one. Number two is you're going to learn the 4 components of this system, okay? This automated system. Ads, getting attention, lead capture, nurture, and engage, and then also to get action. And essentially what you want to do, especially in a B2B scenario, is you want to build trust over time. And I'll be showing you how to do that and how that works in today's day and age. You'll also learn the psychology behind why people buy and how they book calls, because a lot of people don't understand that. And you also learn why this works. So without further ado, let's break this down. The 4 parts to the getting attention, getting people to even notice you in the first place, starts, for many folks, it starts at a message, a cold call, an introduction, a handshake. Now, why we like ads is because with ads, you're forcing the impression. You're essentially replicating yourself, replicating your company, replicating content, and forcing it into somebody's phone on their screen without it being intrusive. I mean, ads are intrusive, but it's a lot less intrusive than a cold email or a cold call or begging somebody at an event to do that. And so essentially you need to be able to get attention. And I'll share with you here, I mean, we spend a good amount of money on ads, but I'll share with you here some of the ads that we're running that are working very well for us. I'm not going to share our clients because I don't want you to steal them. Go ahead and try to steal mine. I don't mind. Okay, I make enough ads per day. And I know the difference here is that everybody can steal, can copy, can do whatever with what I'm doing. It's very applicable. It's very, you could see it. It's not hard to go and swipe my ads. You can look at any Facebook ad library. The difference is you're not me. The difference is you don't have our money model. Okay. And you also don't have a result or a review. So I'm fine. You can steal it. I don't care. But this is the one that's working really well. Okay. As you can see, all right, it is cranking pretty good. If we look at over the last 30 days, we pull this apart, just this ad, we spent about $2,900, booked 35 calls at $85 a piece. I'll make that exchange every day, $14 a lead, and it generated $13K from that one on a 4.4x ROAS, not bad. This one generated $14K on a 4.5. And you could see here, this one also is pretty good. We've been running it for some time. I'll share with you how we make these ads. It's really not that difficult. There's a process for it. And by the way, if you want to learn the process to make ads like this, you can go to the description and download a free report. It'll be showing you how to do that. But essentially, this is going to be what's capturing attention. And so when people first discover me and discover us and discover what we're doing, okay, we interrupt with value. If you notice from here, you can see that we're giving away a free report. Okay. Now here's what this page looks like. It highlights an ICP. Our main ICP is SaaS companies. So we have some sort of eyebrow call out here, which is going to demonstrate who I'm trying to talk to. We have some social proof in terms of how many people downloaded it. And then you have a curiosity-based headline, a benefit-based headline without the thing that you hate, which is what this video is about. Right? And then you have the subhead, which is more of like a reversal. So you don't have to do these things that you hate, has an image of the thing, has a big old button. If we look at the phone view of this, I would have to actually inspect it. Give me one second here. Okay, so this is the phone view. As you can see the button is above the fold. It needs to be. Okay, this button is going to bring up a pop-up. Okay, and this is what it looks like on the phone. All right, the reason why I show the phone is 99% of your traffic from these ad platforms, especially interruption-based, is going to come from their phone, right? If you're doing search or any Google-based kind of campaigns, not YouTube, but search-based or demand gen, right? If you're doing native placements, banners and stuff like that, maybe computer as well. They both have to be good, but you have to really, really shore up your phone view. As you can see, this is the winning formula. We have some sort of tail here that's going to get them to want to continue. Immediate social proof, and a quick letter from me or our clients and other folks. You don't necessarily need to do this letter. I like it because it's good, and I like to write. Now, mind you, every 100 people that come to this page via cold traffic, 17% of them, so 17%, end up becoming a lead, end up opting in, and end up giving me their name, number, email, and tell me how much revenue their company is doing on a month-to-month basis, or on an annual basis, right? Now, I'll tell you why we do that in a second, but first, you got to understand that 17% is insanely high because it's good. So when you build this page, okay, what's important is a couple things. It needs to be congruent with the ad. So it needs to be saying the same thing that the ad is saying. And then it needs to have a good experience, a good load time, and the button needs to be above the fold, and it needs to be strong and contrast based. As you can see, it's red against a white background. I like white background, blue text. It doesn't, black text. It doesn't, like, this looks like an ugly page. And there's pages that are much nicer, but I'm telling you, those super nice pages that are black and have animation and stuff like that take forever to load and don't have a good conversion rate, just what it is. Okay, so you can either make it really pretty or you can crush it. I prefer crushing it, right? So direct response, don't care about how it looks, care about how well it works. And that's copy. You need people to see it. So that's just kind of no brainer, no doubt things. Okay, so once they click and they opt in, here's the thing, they're going to go to another page. And on the back end, there's a lot of things that go. Okay, so the pages that they're going to go to, and you can see my page if you want. If you download that free report, you can see the next page. It's called a VSL. Now, for our clients, we built a handful of these VSLs. I mean, about 500 at this point. But as you can see, for our clients, this is the same sort of page. We have some sort of free report. Okay. Why this is important is because we're not slapping them in the face with an offer immediately. We want to build that trust and engagement. Specifically for B2B, this is very important. Now, it's very low risk. It's really low effort. You just click a button, you give your first currency in exchange for something for free. You're building reciprocity, you're building trust, you're demonstrating value, and you're positioned as an authority. It's all these really good things that allow you to have an easier sale. But it's the same thing for our clients, and it works really well. The next page you go to, okay, it's going to be like, hey, by the way, I actually want them to change this, but this should say something like, hey, by the way, while your report is on the way, like it's going to be in your inbox. So the report's coming in your inbox. By the way, it's going to be there in a moment. So not yet though. It'll be coming soon. It'll be coming in 10 minutes, right? And so watch this video in the meantime. And this video is very important. It's about 10 to 20 minutes. Sometimes we've done 30 minutes long, but it's specifically made to build engagement, trust, disqualify, engage, all those things to be able to get them to book a call. It's scripted in a way for retention and then problem, agitate, solution. So you have some sort of retention-based hook. Hey, by the way, you should watch this whole entire video so you can see how you can get more free stuff. By the way, the way you get free stuff is by booking a call. And it's like, so watch to the end, make sure you do that. I'll give away some free stuff. You can also give away free stuff just for watching the video. What I've seen is it's like at the end of the video, you'll just provide like a URL. Hey, go to this URL, you get free stuff. So that URL is locked unless they watch the whole video. I like that a lot, just to get them to actually watch it. Because if they do actually watch it, they're going to be selling themselves on why they should be working with you. So this video is emotionally based, but also sometimes logical. Like if this is a software client, logically speaking, there is some demo or some sort of benefit orientation. I don't really like to talk about features in this. I like to talk about, I know your problems. Here's why your problems suck and how it's losing your money, losing your time, etc. And then you present the solution at the highest point of deprivation, and you present it in a way that's benefit-based. Okay. Far too many product people talk about their features, and it's fine and it's cool, but your customers don't care. They typically only care about one thing. So your goal is to go through everything you possibly can so that you can handle the one thing. And there's typically one obstacle as well that is going to stop them from moving forward. That's why you want to kind of bring up all those obstacles as well, right? And so you have some subhead text here, you have some headline text here. Okay, watch the video. Right? Book your free call. It's not a discovery call. It's not a free consultation. It's something benefit oriented. It makes a difference when you're getting traffic because you're going to have thousands of people on this page, right? It makes a difference. Everything here is made on purpose, right? We also have even like a little counter that kind of pops up here that's going to say, hey, John, Mary, Sue, Joseph just booked a profit clarity call. It's pretty cool. So like that little social proof icon, right? And this page is quite long. And it goes on, has testimonials, case studies, etc. The one thing that can make a huge difference for you is just if you just keep getting testimonials from your clients and just put it on the page, as many as you possibly can. There's no such thing as too much. If you have 4 on your page, but you actually have 100, put all 100. Literally, put all 100. But once they click that, they go to a book a call page and we have a disclaimer. Say, hey, this is not for you if blah, blah, blah. You want to push people away to bring in the right person. I actually need them to change the fact that we're offering too many time slots here. It should only be 3 to 5 days in advance, okay, to boost show rates. And then to further boost show rates, you also have a thank you page. Okay, this thank you page is going to continue to nurture, talk about the product, talk about your benefits, talk about some of the people that you've been working with, handle FAQs that usually happen in the sales conversation. This video is actually the most important because when people book with us and they're a fit, we don't take the second call unless they've watched the thank you video, because the thank you video describes the program, describes how it works, has show don't tell, and has a lot of testimonials, case studies, etc. And I'm just building proof in there and trust in there as it goes. It's a 30-minute long video. And then also I handle FAQs. So ideally my sales team doesn't have to say anything, but like, which one do you want? Which is really cool. And so there's a continuum that you have to understand when you do business. Okay, this continuum is sales. Okay, and you also have marketing. Now this continuum is important because if you do a lot of marketing, you only have to do a little bit of sales. If you do If you do a little bit of marketing, you have to do a lot of sales. And I'm sorry to say, but if you're watching this video, it's likely that you're doing cold outreach. And with cold outreach, here's the thing. You're doing that much marketing. This is your marketing when you do cold outreach. You send one email, okay, they don't respond. So you send 3, they finally respond, they pity you. So then they take the meeting and they come to the meeting, their arms crossed, and they say, what's the price? What can you do for me? That's cold outreach. And this is the amount of marketing you're doing with cold outreach. Now, ideally, what we want is we want to do the most amount of marketing so sales is easy. If sales has been hard for you and you're accepting everybody with a post on a credit card, and you don't have enough meetings on your calendar, and you find it to be that your sales cycles are long, and there's offer issues there as well. But I'm telling you, everything becomes easier once you have people coming to you and you can hop on the call and you can say, why did you reach out in the first place? Why did you download that free resource? Right? It's so much more leverage, and people know, like, and trust you already before even hopping on the call. It's a really remarkable thing, and it really brightens my soul to know that we can do that, and also brightens the soul of our clients to be able to do that. Now, before I proceed about the customer journey and what happens after they download to be able to get that booking, I want to talk about these free reports, okay? A lot of people, you might be watching this and be like, well, I've already tried a free report or something similar, and it didn't work. Here's what you want to understand. It's not that it didn't work. It's that you don't know how to make it work. Okay. So there's 3 ways to make these free reports. You can either solve a small problem, reveal a problem, or it can be one step to a multi-step solution. And depending on your model, depending on your business, one might be better than the other. What we typically make is solve problem type 1s. Learn how to add 60K to your practice in 90 days without changing a single thing you're doing. A lovely offer. Okay. People download this book. It explains how you can do it. Hey, by the way, we can do it for you. Book a call. So you need the report to have an open loop, solve something or reveal something. So you have this open loop where the next step is to solve their problem by booking a call. Sounds simple, but you probably didn't do that. How healthcare leaders are unlocking hidden profits without adding staff or cutting corners, and why 87% are missing out. FOMO, curiosity. People love that stuff. This one converted at a high clip, like 28%. It's insane, right? So here's the elements here. You have ICP, healthcare leaders, the thing they want without the thing they hate. Even if they tried this and they're hearing about this, don't miss out. So this was just a lot of information. So you really need to understand your ICP. And by the way, we do what's called the Sherlock Holmes for all of our clients to discover the ICP so that we know what they want, we know what to say, we know how to make it look, and specifically around the report. This is for doctors. This is for healthcare. What's the difference? The doctor one was 1 page. The healthcare one was like 50 pages. See the difference? So some people have analytical brains, some people don't. Some people are engineer type style, some people aren't. Some people have a lot of time, some people don't have a lot of time. Okay, these people are inherently researchers. They love to read. These people have no time in the day at all for even their family. So you have to make it commensurate, right? That's the biggest difference that you're missing out on. People aren't just people. Certain people are certain people. And so, like I said, the Sherlock Holmes is what we do for our clients. And by the way, if you want to see if we can do this for you to help you have a full calendar booked out, you can go below and just book a straight up strategy call. There is no obligation. We actually don't sell anything on that call. We need to see if you're a fit. We only accept 7 clients per period. Okay. And we have 150 calls a month. And so less than 5% of people get even accepted to take that second call and to be able to do our program. So nothing to sell you on that call, just to see if we can possibly help you. Okay. Only book that call if you're doing over 500,000 or you have some cash in the bank, because we do need ad spend. Okay. However, if you want to do it yourself and you want to do the Sherlock Holmes, you want to understand what to say to be able to get people to go forward, and you want the whole system already built out. I do have a digital product suite, $27 to get started. On that next page, it's $97 to get the Sherlock Holmes. I would highly suggest you get that. 25% of people that get the digital product get the Sherlock Holmes. The rest of them are sad they didn't, because you only have one chance to get that. I'll never give it to you unless you get it on that one page. So you can grab that below as well. That's our AI growth funnel digital product program. But this is how you really make sure you can crush your free report. Okay. You got to really understand it. You got to understand your customer as well. You got to understand what they want. You got to understand the benefit. And you got to understand what they're missing out on if they don't go forward. So let's transition to what happens after they download the report, because here's the next thing. The problem is you are probably not going to have a lot of people that book directly through, and that's fine, and that's okay, and that's supposed to happen. But here's the metrics that you want, okay? In terms of once you launch, you have what we call post-launch playbooks. Okay, and each of these steps need to occur. Okay, so you have the ads, you have the landing pages, and then you have the back-end system. Okay, and then you have booking, so you have the call. So now each step of this equation needs to be shored up. So what you need is you need people to click. First and foremost, they need to click something. Okay, then when they click, they need to opt in. After they opt in, you need them to be an MQL. You need them to be quality. Follow me here. Okay, and then after that, you need them to book. Okay, that's it. All right, so when you've run ads before, if you have, and it didn't work, it's because one or more of these pieces sucked for you. And you probably looked at it and you probably thought, well, ads don't work for me. No, it's just that your opt-in rate sucked. Here's the thing. Okay, so depending on the industry, I like to have a sub $3 cost per click. Now, there are some ads that I run that are profitable that have 5, that have a 7. Really don't want to focus too much on it, but ideally what you want to be doing is always making new, better ads. I do about 50 a week. I'm spending about $1,200 to $1,500 a day. So that's commensurate to kind of the amount I'm spending. However, it may be different for you in the beginning. You might not be able to test as many ads because you're not spending a lot, okay? But I like to suggest starting with $100 a day, and I like to see $3. But you should always be trying to get lower clicks, because when you have a large traffic pool at the top, any small change that makes a difference at the top is going to make a difference for the entire bottom line, okay? The entire rest of the funnel. Because if you think about it, there's going to be less and less people as you get down. So the percentages of change are the greatest at the top of this. Hope that makes sense. Okay. So always making new ads to improve the cost per click. And then your opt-in rate, I like to be at 10%. Now, average industry websites convert at a 2%. So we like to 5x difference there. Okay. Now, some of our best have been at 30. It really doesn't make any marginal difference for me to spend my time making my 17% opt-in rate go to 25. I'd rather make just 5x better ads. There's a sunk cost to this, and there's also a priority kind of tree that you have to ensure. If you're at 10 to 15%, really spend your time making better ads. If you try to keep making headlines and headlines and headlines and headlines and headlines and headlines and headlines, but you already have a pretty high rate, not really worth your time, okay? I have not changed my landing page in a very long time. Sure, can I make it convert 25%? So 20% better, 30% better? Probably. But is that going to be the 3x opportunity that I'm looking for? No. I need to get more traffic. I need to get cheaper, more traffic while I'm doing YouTube, while I'm testing a ton of ads, etc. Okay, now you have MQL. Now, if you don't remember, when I showed you this is asking for annual revenue. Like I said, people above 500,000 are the people that I want to talk to, right? So what I need to see is 60% of people or more that come in are qualified. Now, I've seen high as 80, but you're not going to be able, it's inbound, so you're not going to be able to get always qualified leads. But as you can see, unqualified lead, unqualified, qualified lead, qualified lead, qualified lead. By the way, video editor, please block out these people's names, phone numbers, and emails here. We don't want to be showing this. But as you can see here, keep this open so they can see. But as you can see, we have qualified lead, unqualified lead. Sometimes I'm not going to be able to get qualified leads all the time. Right, but I need to be at 60%. Last time I checked, we're at 70 something, so I'm good with that. This is what it needs to be. By the way, I'm gonna work through this as well to show you what you need to do, okay, to be able to know how to get these numbers up. Because I'm not actually gonna tell you what the numbers are without telling you how to do it, right? I'm happy to give you all my secrets. Okay, booking. I need to see 10 to 15% of the MQLs on a 30-day period book. Now understand, you're going to be building this pipeline of report downloads, and I'll show you how to get them to book, right? But they're going to come in over time as well. The thing that kind of sucks is that you can't really force somebody to book if they're not ready to book. You can only get their brain thinking in the way that they're already thinking and warm them and microwave them to the point where they are ready to book. But you can't choose for them. You can only storytell better, right? Through emails, through text messages, through retargeting, and also you can pick up the phone and dial, which I recommend. Okay, I'll share with you how we improve these, but this is what you need. So if ads weren't working for you, it's likely one or more of these pieces were not working. So we talked about the click, we talked about making ads. By the way, if you want to know how to make ads, download the free report below. There's a way to make ads down there, okay? Very simple, we use AI. Opt-in rate. Now, if we look into the school community, which by the way, we have about 70 people, 60, 70 people in this, it's $97 a month. Give it a go, it's got a free trial. 67 people are in here. People love it and people join it because if they're looking to add an extra 10 calls a month or an extra 100 calls a month, they come here because we have all these playbooks. So we have what's called a post-launch playbook here, and we're able to see, okay, ad optimization, what to do, lead funnel optimization, what to do, lead quality optimization, what to do, booking rate optimization, what to do, how to set meetings with the phone, what to do, sales diagnostic framework, reactivation playbook. We have a lot of playbooks, but people really love the school because they can hop in and do master classes with me, right? And so if you come to this page and look, by the way, it's in the description, you could see a little VSL that I made. You could see some of our members getting booked calls. You can see Mark getting his first handful of booked calls as well. And you can also see Sean booking in, a handful of calls as well. And you can also see some of the results that we've been getting for folks, right? And so this is a good place to be if you're not ready to do kind of done for you work and you want more help on top of the digital products that I have, yeah? So in here, let's walk through this. By the way, the benefit that you're going to get in the school is by talking to me, right? Because I don't make any money on it really. I just use it as a way to help people. But with ads, I would follow this. I'm not going to get into this much because it's just making new better ads. When it comes to your opt-in rate, it's testing headlines. You need to have at least 500 visitors each page, okay? Or each test. That's really what it is. You could test headlines. You could test new image or positioning on the lead magnet. You could test copy or color variations. And if you're above there, if you're around 15, I would suggest scaling the traffic, yeah? For MQL, for improving that, you need to be stricter on your qualification. You need to add more friction in the funnel and also in the ads. It needs to be direct. It needs to be relevant to the person. 60-80 is optimal range, okay? So it's really about friction. It's about directness in who you're talking to in the ads and targeting as well. Booking rate, there's a few things here. Email opens and clicks, SMS response. I'll be sharing with you the AI bot that, how it works. VSL page views, so that's retargeting ads, SMS, because we're going back to the VSL, going back to the calendar page. And then we want a form completion rate pretty high on the calendar. Okay. So this is what it looks like there. Now let me walk you through when somebody then, comes in, what happens. By the way, video editor, please block out all the people's emails and et cetera. Okay, and phones and name there. When someone opts into something, a lead magnet or something like that, you don't need what I have, but mine works really well. People love the emails that I write. By the way, if you want to see the emails and steal them, be my guest. You can't steal my story, but you could certainly steal my emails. That's fine. So just opt in for the free report and grab it, and you could see all the emails. But here's what I do. First, I qualify or unqualify the lead. So I qualify the lead by getting Facebook Conversion API for that. And also Hyros will count the qualified lead data. So I'm sending that back to the pixel and avoiding sending unqualified leads back to the pixel. That's because data is king and targeting comes down to data now. And so I'm only sending people that are, let's say John is a business doing $5 million a year. Like he's a qualified lead on the front end. So I'm going to send that back to Facebook, send that back to Google, send that back to X on the places we're running ads. Okay. I'll make that custom audience and I'll build it up so I have a pool of leads so I can retarget them back on the platforms. Okay. And then I have the SaaS report here. Now, mind you, my workflow is very, very, very large. As you could see, I have a lot of different lead magnets. I have a lot of different things that I'm sending, and I have a lot of behavioral pathways in here. So as you can see, I'm kind of looping back all the way to my origin story email here. But when I look at the report, I have some really like targeted type of timings here and behavioral type stuff. And I'll share with you in a second how that works. So they get the report about 10 minutes later. Okay. Then 3 hours later, they get a reply based email. Hey, saw you just came in. What's the problem that you're facing? 1, 2, or 3. Reply back, let me know. That boosts my email domain authority. 2 days later, I wait for the tag. Did they open or did they not open? They did not open. I'm going to resend them the free report. You'll be surprised how often people do not open the email. How often people don't even read the report. The people that do are the best prospects. They close all the time. But you have email resend. I send it again. And look, if they don't open the 3, if they don't open what they wanted to get, I D&D them. I remove them from my newsletter. I don't even worry about it. Because honestly, I don't want to ruin my domain reputation by sending emails to the wrong people. We still call them. We still text them. Here, if they open it, I'll send them this soap opera sequence from Russell Brunson. Okay. If they don't open it after 2 days, I resend it and then I move back. And I'm basically forcing them to open it, making sure they see it, making sure they read it, right? Just a different subject line. I want them to get the whole story. Here I send them a video and I check if they clicked. If they didn't click, I resend it again. I move the video closer to the top. And then send a second video. If they don't click, I do the same thing. Send a third video. If they don't click, I do the same thing. Change the subject line. move the video up in the email. And if this will load, I'll be able to show you my welcome series workflow. So it's case studies, testimonials, FAQ handling, objection handling, etc. And then a timeline sequence, an urgency sequence. Hey, you need a book now. We only accept blah, blah, blah slots. We need a book now. I do 4 or 5 deadlines, and I do a 9-word email. The 9-word email is awesome. And then I add them to the long-term nurture. What we also do is we also text all qualified leads. We have an AI bot that essentially will ask questions and then get them to respond. Once they respond, then it has a booking conversation. I can show you a case study that we have with one of my clients here. As you can see, okay, this is how it looks. I made a video on this before, but we booked 38 calls for her in a 2-day period. As you can see, just from the SMS AI bot, it had a conversation. They came in, we asked them if they needed help. They said, yes, I'm a real human. This is what I've been doing. Okay, what steps have you taken towards that? So it has a sell by chat conversation and books the meeting. So this is how we're able to get the 10 to 15% of people that book through this follow-up. I mean, you could see it crushed. It absolutely crushed. Okay. Now, the reason why this works, I want you to know, this is the last thing I'll leave you guys with. Why this works is because the buying journey is not linear anymore. So the buying journey back in the day used to be, okay, you pick up the phone, you call, you book a meeting. You send an email, cold email, they respond, you get in their inbox, they book a meeting. Now with GPT and the proliferation of information on the internet, you have all this meandering around to then get here. And here's the thing. The starting point for us always is an ad. You can engage the first starting point at their stage. If we think of cold here and then, excuse me, that's a terrible line. Cold over here and then hot, right? You need to meet them where they are. That's why it's free report, YouTube video, right? Sometimes they come in from YouTube or whatever. And that's why I make these YouTube videos because, hey, probably you're not ready to buy anything. But I have things that you could buy and things that you could do moving forward next. And I'm here when you're there, right? But I'm not forcing you to be there. I'm just sharing with you what I've learned and sharing with you your problems. And if you are, if it's about time for you to solve your problems, then you would take the next step to buy something from me or book a meeting with the team, right? So we have to meet them there. And that's value content, lifestyle content. That's value ads. That's the point of the free report. So this is why it works. We don't know where people are in this stage. We can't determine, right, what stage they're at unless they tell us. And ideally, you just want to have content and you want to show up at each of these stages. So that's why the email follow-up. That's why the SMS follow-up. That's why the retargeting ads. That's why the free report. That's why the YouTube. All these things in conjunction, guys. Let me explain to you something. And by the way, please also blur this video editor. But I'm going to show you something pretty incredible when I look at Hyros. I need you to blur this information here. As you can see, right, this is 1,400 calls that I have selected here that I can see where they came in from, what they did, how they did it. They came in from organic IG, organic Facebook, Medium, clicked an email, booked from an email. I can tell exactly where people booked. This person booked from SMS. This person booked from the blog. This person booked from email, but they came in from X, right? This person came in from Medium, but then booked from email. This one came in from Medium as well, and then booked from the free report, right? So all these things, right? And the SMS here, right? YouTube organic. So here's the most important thing. You cannot determine where these people are coming from. And so you just be everywhere. And it starts the best with ads and then the engagement strategy and the nurture and the long-term nurture with the content. And that's all that stuff. So that's why it works. And I hope this video was important for you guys to understand why it is people buy, why it is people book, how to manufacture that process so that it doesn't seem so whimsical. A lot of what we get from people is like, well, then this can't be something that I can engineer or manufacture. It's just kind of guessing or luck. The difference is I don't have lead journeys. Unfortunately, I have to pay. I don't want to give Hyros any more money. I already pay them $1,000 a month. But there's the difference for you guys. Okay. So you can do this yourself and you can, buy the digital products down below and you can do it yourself. That's fine. Or you can do it yourself plus help, get help from me. You can join our school that's down below as well. Okay. If you want to just kind of see more about how it works, you can download the free report. And if you're like, Jake, I need Adstra to do this for me now. I have some ad buy that I could put money into. I could put $100 plus a day into ads and I want to scale my thing. Let's do a free strategy call. Like I said, it's not a sales call. Just hop in, right? See if we can help. We'll ask you questions on your business, where it is, where you're at, what you want to get to, and what's in the way. We need to know your money model. We need to know your close rate, stuff like that, to be able to see if we can even help you. And if we can, we'll book a second call. We'll make you an offer. We only accept 7 people per period. 150 calls a month. You do as you may, but I'll be here. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you need something else from me. Thank you so much. Have a blessed rest of your day, and good luck. And hey, leave a like, leave a sub if you don't mind. Thank you.